Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Introduce myself. My name is Ayatma. My ID number 19014040416. Class 5A. So in this video, I will explain how to construct speaking test and how to mark speaking test. How to construct speaking test. Number 1. Identify the purpose of the test and the available resources. The first purpose. What the tester should know before giving a test is why exactly he is doing it. Tests can be used to ask for basic kind of question. The fifth aptitude test. For language learning does not usually include our technique. The first proficiency test. What is the learner's general level of language ability? The second placement test. Where does this learner fit in our teaching program? The third diagnostic test. What are the learner's particular strengths and weaknesses? The fourth achievement test. How much has the learner learned from a particular course? The second resources. To make an assessment successful, we should design it to be carried out using the available resources. There are three different kinds of resources. The first, people, to administer the test and also to mark or remark on the test afterward. The second, available time. In three stages: development, operation, and improvement. The third, physical facility, such as room and furniture for testing and sound or video equipment. Number 2. Determining the test type. Test type. There are some general type of oral tests. There are cross-reference to the detailed description of elocution technique in the next part. The first, self-assessment. The second, teacher assessment. The third, peer assessment. The fourth, who does the learner speak to? The fifth, the direct interview type. The sixth, mechanical and predictable test. The seventh, recording oral test. The eighth, screening test technique. The ninth, computer in language testing. Number 3. Choosing and formulating the best oral test technique. Elocution technique of oral test. There are a lot of oral techniques and their variation, but only the common ones are briefly described below. This technique encourages learners to speak by giving them or listen follow. Variable, a skill of increasing predictability of response, from the less control to most the control. The first, discussion or conversation. The second, oral report. The third, role play. The fourth, interview. The fifth, question and answer. The sixth, reading blank dialogue. The seventh, using a picture or picture story. The eighth, giving instruction or description or explanation. The ninth, retelling story from oral or written stimulus. The 10th, reading aloud. The 11th, translating and interpreting. The 12th, sentence repetition. Number 4. Choosing and design the most suitable marking system. Marking system is a vital part of an oral test. It must be integrated into the whole process of the design for beginning. Underhill, 1947, classifies the scoring system into 8 procedures. The first, marking record oral test. The second, marking case or marking protocol. The third, mark categories. The fourth, weighting. The fifth, writing scale. the 6th impression marking, the 7th additive marking, the 8th subtractive marking. Number 5. Evaluation the test, checking whether the test worked properly. Number 6. Administering the test and then marking result. How to mark speaking test. Underhill, 1947, classifies the scoring system into 8 procedures: marking record oral test, marking case or marking protocol, marking categories, weighting, rating scale, impression marking, additive marking, and subtractive marking. The description of each of the systems is given below. Number 1. Marking record oral tests. Oral tests can be recorded on video or audio tape so that they can be marked later. This can be done as well as or instead of live marking. It is easier to mark the record tests because assessors can mark them when and where they want, and because then can rewind the recording and listen to what the learner says as often as they want. Number 2. Marking case or marking protocol. A marking case or marking protocol aims to save time and uncertainty by specifying in advance, as far as is possible, how marks should approach the marking of each question or text. A comprehensive marking case or protocol aims to anticipate and to cope with problems, to maintain the aims of the test, and to describe the purpose of each question or text. Number 3. Mark categories. In mark categories, the mark is asked to give each learner a separate mark for each category. These separate marks are then combined to give the overall score, either by simple addition by the process of weighting. This idea is also known as anything or automatic marking. Broadly speaking, mark categories either follow the traditional model of language component: grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, intonation, and storage style and fluency, and content, or they follow the more recent model of performance criteria: size, complacency, span, flexible, accuracy, appropriacy, independence, repetition, and hesitation. Weighting. Weighting is a process by which marks are awarded out of the same total for different mark categories, and these marks are then multiplied by different factors to give the more or less influence in the total score. For example, grammar is marked out of 10 then multiplied by 2. Fluency is marked out of the 10 then multiplied by 3, and so forth. Number 5. Rating scale. A rating scale is a series of short descriptions of different levels of language ability. Its purpose is to describe briefly what the typical learner at each level can do, so that it is easier for the assessor to decide what level or skill to give each learner in a test. The rating scale offers the assessors a series prepared description for each of the band, and then pick the one which best fit each learner. Basso, 1995, conclude that an analytic rating scale is effective marking procedure since it can objectively market based on the descriptors of features. Number 6. Impression marking. The assessor awards a mark based on the learned overall performance without picking out any special feature or using a counting system for error. Impression-based marking call for subjective judgment in this must be the positive sense. Number 7. Additive marking. The assessor has a prepared list of features to listen out for during the test. A mark is awarded for each of these features that the learner product correctly, and these marks are added to give the score. Number 8. Subtractive marking. The assessor subtracts 1 mark from a total for each mistake the learner makes, down to a minimum of 0. There may be a single subtractive category for all errors, or there may be separate subtractive category for certain features, such as vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation. Okay, I think that's all, and thank you for attention my video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.